What is going on, you guys? So today I want to talk to you a little bit about why it's important for you to not care what other people think. So I know this can be hard, or maybe if you're watching this, you've already figured it out, and that's perfect. So not caring what other people think can be difficult because a lot of people are raised in a way where we want to like impress others or have the approval of others. I mean, technically, right? Like, we're still sort of tribal, so we want to have the approval of a community, right? Our family, our friends, those people, right? So it makes sense, of course. And then you want the approval of like a potential mate, so you can basically reproduce, right? Continue, blah blah blah, right? It totally makes sense. Now, your one superpower to develop here will be realizing to care about people and not what they think. And the reason I say this is because so many people, this is probably the only message you need for this whole video, is so many people hold themselves back and their entire life back because deep down, if you get to the bottom of it, they're worried about failure and they're worried about what other people think. And what other people think is just their perception, like what they've seen based on their experience and what they know about you. And likely they don't know everything. And the failure part is really interesting because school teaches you not to get F's or not to fail your test, right? So it actually kind of conditions you to avoid failure. When it's funny because out in the real world, failing is a sign that you're putting an effort in to succeed, and likely those who fail faster succeed faster. Rather than the overthinker, the what if I do this? Should I do that? I don't know. What will they think? Maybe I'll fail, right? Like, you go down this analytical path, like the meme with all the equations on it, and the guy like thinking really hard. I mean, it's simple, really. I mean, you can care about other people. Two things can be true at once, right? You can care about what other people, or you can care about other people, and then you can not care about what they think. And that will be your superpower because then you can release the shackles, basically, and do everything that you've wanted, right? Like, if there's something that you've always wanted to try, right? Like, getting into a particular skill, like developing that for your career, or starting a business, or starting a YouTube channel, or learning to play music, or really anything. Like, you're scared to talk to that girl because you're worried about what she'll think, or you're worried about what Jim, like this random stranger behind you, is going to think if he's watching you. And that actually brings me to a really good intersection here. It's because it's related to judgment, right? And there's essentially two parts to this. So one more people are familiar with, which is when someone judges you, usually it's based on an insecurity. Like YouTube comments, for example, right? YouTube comments, or Jim behind you who judges you for being confident in approaching a girl to see if she's cool, maybe suggest a date if she is cool. Those two people are the same. They're the faceless YouTube commenter with a random username, and they always give absolute gremlin or goblin comments. Like the best thing I can say here, right, is hate always comes from below. I mean, no hate comes from a positive place, right? Because what they could have done is not commented, not judged you, or thought that was cringe because you were trying. You were actually trying to be better. Or they could have given you positive feedback or constructive criticism. Instead, they chose to judge. And that's always from an insecure standpoint. Or if you've ever heard the term like crabs in a bucket, it's like one crab's about to get free, become free from the bucket. He climbs up, and then the other crabs pull him back down. Like, get back here, basically. Like who do you think you are? Like escaping, growing, like improving yourself. And usually those crabs in the bucket become boiled afterwards. Now, this isn't to shame people for judging. It's just to shine a light on it, right? Because then when we reverse it, if you're worried about people judging you, right? Like that guy looks like he's really judging me. Well, then also it shows that you're being insecure for some reason. And potentially you're labeling someone that you don't even know or barely know in a negative light, right? Like you're like assuming what they're thinking, and which is hilarious because whether it's someone judging you or you worrying about someone judging you, there's a positive reframe for it, right? Because instead of thinking about that, you could say, oh, they seem like a really cool person, or like they seem interesting. Like, why do they have this different perspective? Like I want to learn a little bit more about them, or like you could just like even think of something small, right? Like if you see them, right? Like instead of worrying about something like that, like oh, like they're probably like a pretty interesting or cool person, and maybe I should learn a little bit about them, right? Because then you'll probably find that you're not so different. Or even just like thinking different things, right? Like service level, like you see him passing by you, and it's like, that guy has like a really cool watch on, or that guy has a really cool, pair of pants or something, right? Like, and actually you can change some of those moments if you want into a compliment, and you might actually become friends, which is hilarious because before, I think a ton of people have heard that sort of story before, right? Or they've actually become friends with someone that they judged, right? Or maybe their friend was judging them before, and then they became friends, and they're like, oh, like you're pretty cool. So this is a long way of saying that it's never going to benefit you to worry about what other people think, and if they do, have like a weird judgment about you or something, it says something about both of you if you're insecure in that way. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, right? Like it might be like a blow to the ego, or like they got a little defensive when I just said that. But really it's true. Like, this video is from the perspective of helping you shine a light on this and growing. Because once you're able to do that, so much opens up in your life, like so many opportunities. You can become much more abundant in positive ways, like create new opportunities and basically create the life that you really want, like design that, because you're not worried about what other people think and you stop caring about it, and you're not judging others too, right? That's important as well, because you want to be a mirror of the behaviors and the kind of person you want to attract into your life. So, yeah, I think that's all I really need to say in this video. I hope this helps, and you got this, bro.